What is going on? This is your boy Javo with another episode of Bearded Wrestling. I'm wearing my Monday Night Rollins shirt tonight because Rollins was doing his thing tonight, man. Let's get right to the show. We are in Dallas, Texas, 9/17/2018. Listen, if you're not already following us, please go follow us on Instagram at bearded_wrestling, on Facebook at bearded_wrestling, and you can always find us on YouTube at just straight bearded wrestling. And if you want to holler at us, send us an email, any comments, you can always hit us below in the comments. Please like, share, and comment, or you can hit us at our Gmail at beardedwrestling1@gmail.com. All right, let's get right to the show. The show starts with our Universal Champion, Mr. Roman Reigns, coming out to a mixed applause, boos, but it was a pop. Nonetheless, excuse me. Roman says, "I know Lesnar was gonna, come for his rematch. I just didn't know he was gonna kick in the Hell in the Cell," which was okay. I heard that he was gonna come back. I didn't know how true it was, and it was. I didn't report it, and I should have. I just thought, he was getting ready for UFC, so I thought it wouldn't happen, but it did. Of course, Strowman then comes, roar! I usually have one of Strowman show it because I love him. Comes out and says, "Listen, this is the second opportunity that Brock is stolen from him, but it won't happen again." Corbin tells him to calm down, tells everybody to calm down, that no one's more upset about what happened last night at the main event of Hell in the Cell besides him. No one's madder than him. He's been on the phone all day with Steph, and they found a way to make everybody happy. And what's that? They've booked a third pay-per-view, which is going to be called, what is it called again? The crowning jewel of some sorts. I have it written down somewhere, but it's going to be another match in Saudi Arabia. I believe it's called the crowning jewel. I might be wrong. If so, I'll put the picture there if I'm wrong. But basically, at that match, at that event in Saudi Arabia, which is the second one in this year, they did so well with the first one, with the Greatest Royal Rumble, that they had to go back. I just didn't think they were going to go back that quick. But they're going back November 2nd, and they're going to be there. And the main event is going to be Braun Strowman, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns. And that's the way they announced this pay-per-view. Yeah, and then of course, Mr. Paul Heyman has to come out. He announces my name is, the whole thing. Paul Heyman. He talks about how his client kicked the door to hell open. How he's so strong, blah, blah, blah. He can do all of this. I mean, he's Paul Heyman, so it's amazing. And he tells him this is why Lesnar will leave Saudi Arabia as champ. Strowman leaves the ring and chases Heyman to the back. Corbin tells Roman, "Listen, you might not even make it to Saudi Arabia as champion because you have a match tonight to defend your Universal Championship, and it's against me." So we find our main event right there, Baron Corbin versus Roman Reigns. We then get to a match. I'll do all the ratings at the end because I've rated everything tonight so we can move a little quicker. Dean Ambrose versus Drew McIntyre. Both of these guys fought last night in the Hell in the Cell and the tag team match, which was amazing. I'm definitely going to do a review show of that probably right after this one, so you'll see it up soon. An amazing match last night, and these guys gave it all they had to come back tonight and be the first match of the night. It was just a great match. Like, I don't have to go blow for blow with these two guys. They're both amazing wrestlers, and they're doing their thing night in and night out. Dean just coming back a little over a month, and he's jacked up. looking great, and he's ready to fight. And that Drew McIntyre, he's come back with a vengeance, and he's just pretty amazing. It was a great match, but of course they're not gonna let Dean win, and Drew won the match. We move on to a promo with Ronda Rousey, the Bellas, and Natty. Listen, I don't like Rousey. I'm just gonna go there. I'll let it go. Rousey wants to figure out how to do an open challenge, so she asks the Bellas and Natty. The Bellas are getting ready to tell us something. Natty goes, "Listen, are you really gonna do this the night after, what you just went through?" She's like, "Listen." So Rousey makes this little joke like, "Listen, I can do it, and who's gonna come out that's gonna really test me?" But she tells us, she said, "Listen, when the guys do the open challenge, all they do is go out there, ask who wants to come, and whoever fights, they fight." So that's the end of that promo. Then, of course, we get Drew walking to the back after his match, and Dolph stops him to see if he's okay. Then Baron comes in, and he's like, "Listen, we're doing great tonight. I'm going to beat up on Roman. 1, because I can. 2, because he deserves it. And we deserve a better Universal Champion, so I'm going to do that." He says, Drew just took care of Dean. And he says, "And Dolph, I heard you want to invoke your rematch for the Intercontinental Championship." He goes, No, man, I'm not doing that. I just got out of a match last night. You saw that." He said, "Listen, Dean's not even here. And even if he is here, not Dean, Seth is not even here. And even if he is here, he's going to be hurt. And if he can't fight, I'm going to have to strip the title away from him and give it to you." So Ziggler's like, yeah, make it. The little posse that Baron is kind of sort of in, but he's not really in. The Dogs of War, he's in it, but he's not. As the acting GM, but yeah, he says if he doesn't show up and he can't fight, he's gonna strip him. All right, the next match we see is Chad Gable fights Victor from Ascension. I can't even stay on this match for too long because to me it was a waste of time, and if Bo was here he would say the same and we would just say moving on. So I'm going to move on. Seth Rollins then comes in wheeling his suitcase in with a noticeable limp, and he's told that he has an Intercontinental fight, a match for his title, and if he can't fight, he'll be stripped of the title. Rollins says, "Listen, he's the boss. He can do what he wants, but he still needs to remember that this is Monday Night Rollins." And he walks away. And then we get to the Undertaker's promo. Listen, I'm gonna park here and settle for a moment. Oh man, we gotta let this guy go. I love him. I've seen him at the Barclays. I've seen him at the Garden. I saw him at 2 WrestleManias back to back down in Florida when I thought he was done. And I stood there for another 30 minutes after to see who was going to pick up the hat and the coat. And then he's back again. And then he's back at the 25th anniversary of Raw. Like, he's just... When... They have to give this man a proper retirement. I'd hate to see him wrestle so far into his career where he's like not even like relevant of the situation, like Rick fought way too long. Listen, when I was young, he should have stopped. But definitely, that match with Shawn at WrestleMania, like he was way too old then. But he did it, and I just don't want that to happen again to someone that's been like an idol to all of us in wrestling. Like, I hope this is really it. Like, this is the last of everything. So let's get to the promo. He comes out looking old in the face. And I think they know that. And they got to try to add some more mystique to him. His voice didn't sound the same. things are changing. He comes out, does the walk, does the turn, comes up, but he doesn't turn on the lights. He keeps it dark and spooky-ish. He makes mention about being delusional. And pretty much we all know that he's talking about Triple H. He states that only a delusional man can make those kind of statements. And delusional men have broken souls. And no one, almost had to sneeze. No one has more of a broken soul than Triple H. He states that his delusion will be his downfall. He says, and this is where he starts to get shady, and it was good. He says he used to be wicked, a savage, a warrior, and now, his battles are in the boardroom, making deals like the big deal that they made with Fox for SmackDown. That's his thing now. Calls him a businessman. He says his life is filled with lies that he can't keep up anymore, being that he's in the boardroom. He says he can't see that his friends, in their eyes, that they realize that this is it for him. And it's so bad that he can't even see his own demise. He says when he faces Triple H for the last time, it'll be just like the first time. And the first time, he put him 6 feet under. And it's going to be the same. He then says, let him have his friends, his delusion. You can have whatever he needs, because he's going to try to pull out all the stops to stop the Reaper. And he says, listen, Shawn Michaels is not going all the way to Australia just to sit and be a fan and to support. He's going to be in the corner of the man with 3 H's, Triple H. And I believe that in some type of way. And he says, you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I had to sneeze. Ooh. Excuse me, guys. I might have to cut that out. Either way, he goes, Shawn is not just going to be there and not be in his corner. And that's okay. He could be in his corner. That's fine. Because I'm going to have my brother of destruction in my corner. The mayor, Amir Kane. We'll see how that works with his schedule as a mayor. I guess Vince said, listen, you could be the mayor. You could be the president. But you're on contract. And you're going to be here. So I guess that's how that works. He says he's not only going to take his career like he did his best friend Shawn Michaels, but he's going to take his soul and he's going to, rest in peace. Something like that. I don't know. All right. Then we have another whack match, but it was for a good cause. They were talking about the kids who have cancer and how they're helping out with the Connor's Cure, which is really an amazing thing that they do. Bayley comes out with the kids that were on the commercial or the promo video. And she fights Dana Brooke, who is now not with Titus Worldwide. And listen, this match is another one that you just right over. But I will say Corey Graves and the newly elected young lady that's on the commentating desk, they work so well together, and they go back and forth. And he's like, Corey's like, listen, like, why did Dana leave Titus? Like, Titus has done so much for her, and she's like, well, what's his qualifications? He's like, what? He has 26 Toyota Camrys. He's once jumped over a super Target. Just making up random things. Like, Corey is really good at that. And not everybody has that, and he does. I really appreciate it. The match lasted really 2 minutes, and we all knew that Bayley was going to win because she brought the kids out. And it was for a great cause, so we'll let it go. We then move to AOP. Why? Why do they still think that Drake has to come out dressed like that? I would have rather him try to be dressed like their old manager with the black on, with the leather coat. Or just come out in a suit, something. I don't know. And I'm really tired of them fighting the local guys of each town and wearing them out and like just making like these guys are getting paid to take some really heavy bumps from these big boys. And I'm just tired of it. I'm ready to see them fight somebody. I'd rather them stay down in NXT and fight those guys down there, because like Heavy Machinery and all those guys, who could give them a challenge. So if you weren't going to use them properly, let them fight the Bludgeon Brothers. They should have went to SmackDown. That's what I thought. We then get Seth versus Dolph Ziggler. Listen, it's a hell of a match. They both looked injured, of course, from last night. But this could have been the main event. This here could have been the main event, because you have two of the hardest working guys, or what they love to call the workhorses of Monday Night Raw. These guys put on the show every time. And if they had more time, it would have been even better than what it was. This was a great match. And if you didn't see it, you need to go back and watch it. Rousey then comes out and does a promo. Listen, please, WWE, stop showing Ronda Rousey throwing air punches. I'm tired of it. It's wearing me out. Anyway, she comes out. She does a promo. She's like, she wants to thank Bliss for pushing her past her limits. And she didn't know that, or think that Bliss could fight that well. And she wanted to thank her for pushing her to her limits to make her a better WWE Raw Women's Champion. And then she makes her very first open challenge for her title. And she says, if anybody dare come out, let's do it. And of course, her best friend, Natalya Music, comes out. And she's smiling. And everybody's like, oh, a little open rivalry. Friendly rivalry. And music plays. And nobody comes out. Then finally, Rousey's like, where's Natty? And then what happens? The Riot Squad drags Natty out. And they leave her there. And she says, listen, you made us do this to Natty. She's not going to be fighting tonight. I am. So Ruby Riott accepts the challenge. And before she can get up, Rousey hits her. Then Sarah gets in. Hits her. The other one gets in. Hits her. They're going back and forth, beating each other up. And of course, the stupid Bellas come out. Damn, I hate the Bellas. The Bellas come out, help Rousey out. They kick the girls out, which is still a build-up for Super Showdown in Australia, which they will be fighting. Then we go to a promo where Braun is standing there with Corbin, telling him, listen, I don't know why you gave yourself a title shot at the Universal Championship. Like I said earlier, you're whack. But that's fine. I hope you do win, because when you win, then I'll beat you in Australia. Either way, because you suck. And he does. We move on to Elias. He starts his song. He actually gets through playing the guitar a little bit. Listen, this guy's a star. And I don't know what they're going to do, but they need to give him a belt. The Continental, somebody's belt need to be around this man's waist, because he draws the crowd in and he does really well with it every time. And I'm just really happy to see Elias really like taking hold of the WWE the way he is. Of course, he gets interrupted like he does every week, and he's interrupted by my young black brother, Leo Rush. Listen, Leo Rush is a great indie artist, a superstar. If you've never seen his fights, go and see them. If you want, if somebody comments, I'll put it below in the comments, so you can go and watch one of his matches with another WWE superstar down at NXT, Ricochet. They were amazing. Anyway, he comes out, introduces himself, and before he can finish, Elias goes, wait, whose kid is this? It gets a hell of a pop. Listen, the whole thing was funny, but Leo Rush pretty much is like, listen, I'm out here in the name of my guy, my main man, Bobby Lashley. Lashley comes out, and Elias and Bobby start fighting. They then bring up KO, and all what happened, I think it was 2 weeks ago, when KO came out and bum rushed him while he was trying to get his mantra together. He's talking a lot of mess, and finally like I knew he was. KO comes out. KO comes out. He tries to fight my man. Of course, Leo is so fast. Flips, jumping over. He makes his way down to the ring, and Drew tries to get him. Moves. Kicks Drew. Like, he's showing how fast and agile he is. You know, and a lot of people don't know Leo. But you will soon, because Leo is great. And I think probably next week, after what happened here, I think we're going to get a tag team match. I could be wrong, but I could get a tag team. We could get a tag team match with KO versus Elias. KO and Elias versus Bobby Lashley and your man Leo Rush. Be on the lookout for him. Shout out to the man with 3 H's, Triple H, for giving more African Americans a chance on the main show and NXT. We then move on, and Alexa Bliss says, listen, we're all great at singles, and I'm doing my thing, so I was figuring I'd get my besties to fight. So we're going to challenge Ember Moon and whoever will be her partner. And she finds a partner, and she finds the newly returned Nia Jax. My boo is back, my boo is back, my boo is back, my boo is back. I love Nia Jax, if you didn't know that. Nia comes out, she looks good. She's lost a little bit of weight, not a lot of weight, but a little bit. Ember does a lot of the fighting in this match. I actually thought that they weren't going to let Nia take any bumps or, you know, really do any moves, but they did. And she looked good. She didn't look rusty. And she looked like she was out for full action. And they actually won the match between Mickie James and Alicia Fox. That's who it is. Yes, with her convocation hat on. Always convocation ready. Okay. So we get to the main event, Roman versus Baron Corbin. It's a good match for the most part. I think Baron is a really good wrestler. They just have to find something else to do with him. It either going to be GM or he's going to wrestle. I don't think he should do both. That's neither here nor there. He tells the wrestler the referee a little earlier, listen, I know I'm your boss and all that, but I want you to call this match straight down the line. And somebody go speak to that ref because he had way too much spray tan on, okay? Way too much on. He tells him to call it straight down the line. And that's what he does. He calls it straight down the line. And Corbin actually loses the match because he is counted out. And Roman wins. But because Baron said, wait, I run this show. Yeah. Start this match over, make it DQ, and start it right now. And of course he does, and he gets a chair, and he hits Roman. Roman gets away, and Roman is getting ready to hit Corbin with the chair. And of course, Braun comes out to stop him. In the midst of him looking at Braun, it gives Baron another chance to come and hit him from the back with the chair, and he does. Then Corbin gets knocked out for a while, and Braun is like getting ready to tear up Roman. Roman gets away from him in his arms. He falls back. He fights him, and he's getting ready to run into Roman at the corner, and he doesn't get a chance to because Roman moves, hits his shoulder on the pole. Strowman's knocked out, and of course, the cronies have to come. So Ziggler and Drew comes out to help, but guess what? Roman has some help too. His brothers come, the Shield. The Shield come, they help Roman out. Roman does the Superman punch. It's really funny. You hear Michael Cole go, "Oh my gosh, Roman is giving him everything he got," and I'm like, he only got 2 moves. He does the Superman punch and the spear. What else does he got? It's really easy to give all you got when you got 2 moves. I just thought it was really funny. But of course, at the end of it, Roman wins with a spear, and that's the end of the show. So that's the end. Let's go back and let's give the points or the scores of each segment. The opening segment, I gave it a 3. Drew versus Dean, definitely a 3. The promo with Rousey and the Bellas, a 2. The promo with Drew, Dolph, and Baron, a 2.5. Chad Gable versus Victor, 2. They lucky I didn't give it a 1. Seth Rollins being told about what's going on for the night, I give it a 3. That's my guy. Undertaker's promo, I give it a 3 because he's the Taker, and he made a couple of little pulls, little hits, but it wasn't nothing great. I've seen better from the Taker, but I'll give it a 3 because he is the Undertaker. Dana versus Bailey, I give it a 2, but I upgraded it because it was for the kids, so it gets a 3. The AOP fight with those 2 no-name guys that they just wore out in like a minute, it's a 2. Matter of fact, it's a 1.5 because I'm tired of that. I'm tired of seeing that, so they need to do something else. Seth versus Dolph, a 3.5. That was almost a 4 if they had a little bit more time. It was a great match. The Rousey promo that turned into the Riot Squad fighting, it's a 2.5 because I'm not impressed with Rousey. They need to do something with her. Like, I'm serious. Something needs to change. The promo with Braun and Corbin, that's a 3. Elias promo, a 3. I love Elias. Elias versus Bobby Lashley, that which fully never got completed. Added with KO and Leo, a 3. Nia Jax match, I'm giving it a 2.5. It was an okay match. She gets the half because she comes back. And the Roman Corbin match, because everybody else came out, I give it a 3. So what do we have here? 3, 2.5, 3, 3, 3, 2.5, 3.5, 1.5, upgraded to a 3, 3, 3, 2, 2.5, 3, 3. The show gets a 3.5, ladies and gentlemen. It is a 3.5, and that is the end of Bearded Wrestling for this edition of Monday Night Raw that was taped down in Dallas, Texas. Listen, I'm always so glad to come to you guys and bring the show. If you have any suggestions, comments, anything that you want me to talk about or you want to come on and talk with me, you can always hit me on Bearded Wrestling 1@gmail.com, or you can always check me out or send us a DM at bearded_wrestling on Instagram, bearded_wrestling on Facebook. All right, listen, guys, I love doing the show. Can't wait to get back as soon as possible. Peace.